Well, my name's Kate Parle, and I'm one of the people that organised today. Today is looking at ways of knowing in neighbourhoods. And I think in my head this day was about how the arts and how the sort of alternative ways of knowing, of looking at neighbourhood planning.
I'm from the University of the West of Scotland. I mean, I think what interested me about the seminar was the opportunity to bring together an interesting group of people from different sectors.
I'm Jocelyn Cunningham, and I'm from an organisation called Arts and Society, and I do a lot of work with the RSA.
My name is Robert Rutherford. I work as a social researcher in the Department for Community and Local Government. My expectations were to have a lively discussion about issues.
You're just describing these brown buttons as ordinary people, and I think that's based on their colour actually, because these kind of fantastic ones are the artists.
My name's Tim Neal, and for today, I think the thing actually I was very interested in was actually the zine as much as anything else.
This is what was decided. I mean, this is the aristocracy over here.
Having more open spaces where policymakers, decision makers are invited in as a part of the conversation, not in a consultative kind of way. So we have, regardless of the colour of anyone's political party, they are doing the button exercise in an equal way, and that doesn't happen overnight. It's an incremental process, and we've got to start doing that everywhere. Because we're doing things like the buttons and the filming, we're able to create a different kind of dialogue together. And for me, that is urgent. It's not just a lovely, nice thing to do. If we don't change the way we talk, we're not going to change what's going on.
And I suppose one of the things that in our conversation we're trying to unpick.
Put the finger on it, and we did find this oasis of garden, water features and all of that, in amongst the dereliction.
Is what about just actually listening to the experiences of people who are actually having regeneration done to them, who are at the sharp end of policy?
The relationship between art and imagination, and the fact that imagining and how your community could be, or just thinking about things in new ways. If you're doing deliberative work within communities, why not deploy all the opportunities you have to use the arts in those processes if it engages people and encourages people to think in new ways?
How do we get people to listen is my biggest issue in communities and also in government, and that's quite challenging.
And then in terms of what I put in the zine, I was really thinking about the issues of doing anything with people in poverty, and I work in the communities I work with. I've worked a lot with asylum seekers, destitute asylum seekers who are in absolute poverty. I think people need to have really long-term patience, and I think that society as a general and the political class need to have a considerably more hope for some resolution to this, rather than a sort of rather dark notion of that things aren't going to work, or that we won't even try to make it work.
And the more people can understand what everyday experience is like in those neighbourhoods and how people are actually living, the better the policy will be. If the policy is always kind of based on someone else's imagination of what it's like, and it's not rooted in the lived experience of the neighbourhood, you're going to end up with some dodgy policy.
I like to come to events like this. Most of all is you hear from people we don't normally hear from, and it kind of sparks a thought, or you think, oh, maybe when I'm thinking about a particular initiative or an idea, there's people we can have a conversation with, because it's quite often the conversations that come up after these events that are as useful as what you hear on the day.
What next? Well, I don't know. We carry on, I think. We carry on.